let me ask
Sure.
you a little bit about terminology. Recently, public relations, communications, marketing, and advertising are all getting muddled together. And it's especially apparent with advertising and public relations in both the corporate and the agency side. And then there's this whole thing about branding and branding. Where does that lie? Could you talk about some of the changes that are happening in the terminology within the industry now?
Well, the terminology discussion has been going on since forever, okay, about what's public relations, what's public affairs, what's corporate communications, and where does marketing and advertising start. I think you should, have to step back and look at it. This is a business problem or business opportunity for an enterprise, and how they deal with all their constituents. And each company is going to probably be different about this because people are different, markets are different, circumstances are different, investment levels are different. But if you looked at a spectrum of closer to the commercial end of things over to the more societal end of things, you'd see sales way over here, marketing sort of in the middle, you'd see corporate communications here. Then you'd start to see public affairs, government affairs, corporate citizenship over this other end, and social responsibility. That's a CEO's job, okay? Now, how he or she decides how to do all that, it's really individual. Ideally, he'd find someone, not necessarily the sales piece, but the rest of it, he'd find somebody who could do it all and oversee it all. But it's hard to find people with that kind of experience. So to me, it's a debate about the people you have and the capabilities they have to handle this spectrum, as opposed to labeling the spectrum or putting one label on one piece and arguing about which is the right piece. I think the debate about the language is academic. Excuse the expression, but it's not, it's not that important. What's important is understanding the interplay of all these activities with your major constituents and managing them properly. And our speaker at this meeting, CEO from Abbott, really gets it about handling all that. And we were very impressed last night by his remarks regarding that. So the debate over language to me is not a big deal, but I'm sure we'll be hearing about it for years. So.
Right.
So.
But I really wanted to capture your...
Right, but if you think about the spectrum of how you deal with the external constituents, and of course your internal ones too, and think about that, that's the space you should spend your time worrying about, not about what labels are on which piece. So.
Well, okay, so you're looking for that individual who will be able to handle that whole continuum, what you were just speaking to.